Hello and welcome to the first installment of what Ray is currently working on for his Beechcraft 1900D. So one thing I've noticed over the years is that our sim environments are interesting because, as you can see in the video, outside it's broad daylight, but inside the cockpit it is pitch black. I've not really seen this solved in any way yet up until now. So what I've done is I've put together a simple prototype where I've got two LED RGB light bars, one mounted above and forward of the windscreen, and one mounted in the back of the cockpit, up above the up above the pilot's heads. So what I'm doing is I'm extracting X-Plane datarefs. X-Plane makes available 3 datarefs, which is sky color RGB. I then have Teensy extract that info and send it to a DMX controller, which converts the TTL signal to a DMX signal, which I then in turn send to a DMX RGB converter, which then in turn drives these two RGB light bars. So let's get going here. I'm going to go ahead, and as you can see, everything is broad daylight outside. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the RGB light bars, and there we go. Pretty simple enough. The one thing I'm a little disappointed in, and that may be because I have purchased cheap RGB light bars, is that the light is a little too blue, but it does solve the problem somewhat of an absolutely dark cockpit in broad daylight. So if we continue on, let's go ahead and set the time of day. Right now I think it's set to 2 o'clock in the afternoon Pacific time. So let's go ahead and set that to something closer to sunset. We'll set it to, well, say 6:30 p.m. and let's see what happens. Okay, we went a little too dark, but as you can see, the coloration is automatic. I don't have to worry about adjusting anything manually. I didn't have to write a complicated API for this. Probably about 24 lines of code in the Teensy, and I've got everything I need. So I'm going to go ahead and set the environment back a little bit to maybe 6 o'clock instead of 6:30. There we go. All right, so the sun's going down. We're sitting in Billings, Montana. And I've got cockpit lighting that is not entirely pitch black with some semblance of daylight. So for contrast, I'm going to go ahead and set it to high noon. And there's high noon. Again, a little bit too blue to my liking, and I'll have to figure that out. There's a couple of guys on the Cockpit Builders Forum that can hopefully help me out here. And then let's go to near dusk. And that's about 7 o'clock at night. And there we go. So pitch black outside, maybe a little bit of daylight left. And I can see, you can't really see it in the video, but there is just a little bit of blue light coming from the LED light bars. And I'm happy with that. So we're going to do a little more playing around with the coloration, but I think for the most part I've solved the cockpit lighting issue in broad daylight. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned.